Yes, the capybara. Guys, don't you just want to give that guy a hug? Doesn't he look very huggable? The incredible, huggable capybara. So that's what I painted today. Don't know why. Don't know why I was thinking about capybaras, but I was. And in today's video, you will see how I did this, and you will hear some facts that I got from National Geographic about capybaras. But you're also going to hear a poem that was written by artificial intelligence. And it really is a good poem. I can't believe it. Oh, before I do that, let me let you hear the capybara. Listen, this is the sound of the capybara. Yeah, they talk. They have a lot to say. All right, let me show you how I painted this right now. All right, well, let's start with the pencil. Get a little sketch in here real quickly of our little guy, our little capybara guy. I've always been partial to little furry animals. In this case, the capybara is not so little, really. Little, but he's still a cute little. He's a cute big animal. Anyway, I have some facts about capybaras that I looked up on the National Geographic website. Of course. And there used to be a capybara here. No, let me rephrase that. There used to be several capybaras here. And of course, that was in, it wasn't a zoo, but it was in Silver Springs. And Silver Springs was a tourist attraction at that time. And we went over there. We knew the people at Silver Springs. As you may have heard me say in other videos, I used to do a local radio show with Robin, and we kind of knew everybody in town, and still kind of do. Still kind of keep in touch with a lot of those people. But back then we knew the people who ran the tourist attractions called Silver Springs, and we were talking about rodents, I guess. I can't remember what the conversation was. We were talking about on the air, rodents. And somebody called up and said, have you ever heard about the capybara? It's a 100-pound rodent. So Robin said, off the cuff, I have one of those in my backyard. And I said, you have a 100-pound rodent in your backyard? And it was kind of a sense of a conversation of just silly fun, And then they said, well, they have them at Silver Springs. And I thought, well, I'll have to go over and see what it looks like. I've never seen a capybara. And try to decide how this ear goes. There's a little bit of space there. So we went over there and we saw the capybara, and of course it was such a cute animal. And yeah, they get pretty big. I am not a capybara expert, by the way, but for some reason I just decided I wanted to paint one today. There's the eye. There's the ear. I'm looking at a reference photo. I guess that looks right. And then over here, what is really the challenge with this painting is going to be the hair, because even though he's a furry little guy, his fur is very coarse. So I want to make sure that I capture the coarseness of our little guy here. I'm laughing because, I don't know, it's just a funny looking, cute little funny looking thing, you know? Well, there's our, I think that's going to be our capybara outline right there. All right, let's start. Let's start with the capybara. So, let's start with some basics. Let's just give him some basic, some kind of color there, I guess. Just kind of something other than white. I guess I could use that. Just gonna smear this around. We'll put that like an underpainting there. A bit of an underpainting. I'll create some shadows and some lights. And so it's gonna be my way of starting Mr. Capybara. So I have some facts about capybaras today. No poem about a capybara. Although, you know what would be fun? Oh, I have a fun idea. Have you ever tried using AI, like textual things? What's that one called? ChatGPT? I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write a poem about the capybara. And I'll read it to you. Do you know, the reason I know about this is because my son's brother-in-law is a songwriter, and one time he posted on Facebook that he asked artificial intelligence to write a song about his beard, and he posted the words that they came up with. I think I've seen videos where people actually get songs, I mean whole songs, music and everything, but in his case it was just the words. So all right, I'm gonna make that the beginning here. I think I want to make the background darker, so let me start with the background now, and I can always, I'm assuming he's in a green place is what I wanted to say. We'll have to use, maybe have to use a little bit of gouache later on. What is that color? A little bit of gouache later on to get the little fine hairs that are poking up through to the background. There we go. Let's get some of this background in here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to AI, and I'm going to ask AI to write a poem about the capybara and see what happens. Right now, I'm just trying to get this background darker than him. I want him to be the bright spot, of course. So, yesterday, let me tell you about yesterday. Yesterday, Robin and I went to an art thing, and they had a live nude model there posing, a young lady, and I had never done that before, and I don't know. I did a painting. Everybody else was sketching with pencil, and I thought it was supposed to be a painting thing. So like, I'm ignorant about these things. So I brought my easel, and I brought the paints. I brought acrylic paints, and I painted the young lady. Painted a picture of her, and I was looking at all of the other artists, and they were working in pencil. And I guess that was their choice of medium. it was very fun, and it wasn't like obscene in any way. If you've ever done one of those, I don't know what I expected, to be honest. I figured it was just going to be a bunch of old people like me. I figured it would be a bunch of old people showing up to paint, but it was young people. I was like, Robert and I were the oldest people there, I'm pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure, I am sure. Yeah, we were the senior citizens in that group, that's for sure. But you know what? And as I started working on the painting, and I started getting questions about it, I realized that these were all students who wanted to learn. And the one thing I told them, because they were telling me this, okay, they were telling me that they're nervous about bringing out the paints to sketch. They would rather sketch first with pencil or charcoal and then move on to paint. In this picture right here, I sketched it first. I didn't paint it first. But you can, of course, you can sketch with paint. And I have sketched with paint many times. But I just thought that's what we were doing yesterday. I thought that was see, Robin found it. She found the opportunity online, and she asked me if I wanted to go. I said, yeah, sure. And we went. But I was telling them this, and I'm going to share this with you, that if you are intending to just paint, like plein air painting, sometimes just go ahead and fight the fear. Fight the fear. If you have a fear of working straight with paint, just don't worry about it. Maybe start small. Use a greeting card. Greeting cards, or a greeting card size, is a great way to kind of get started with sketching with paint. You know, like I say, I sketched this little guy first, but it's kind of hard to undo watercolor. Maybe that's why, because watercolor is such a hard thing to undo. With the acrylic, I knew that if I made a mistake, that I could go back and paint over it, which I did. When I started painting the young lady, I made her head too small, and I knew it. I knew it right away, and so I just went back and painted over it. I'm reluctant to show it to you because I don't know, because it is a nude picture. I don't know if YouTube is going to get upset with me if I do that. I don't know. I mean, it's not erotic in any way. Well, I guess to each his. Everybody's got their own thoughts on things. All right. Capybara. I'm setting the background for you. Capybara, we got to come up with a poem for you. I'm going to ask AI to do it. I could write one. I don't need AI. What do I need AI for? Okay, just a few more things here to darken the background. Just undefined things, like maybe there's a fence back there or something. That is a really dark brown green background there. Just keep it like that. Just some stuff going on in the background of the capybara. All right, let's see now. We're going to have to add some dark areas to him or her, whatever it is, he or she. I don't know if they have a difference or not. Like a dog, you can't really tell. the female and the male. Maybe you can. I can't. Not by looking at them. Alright, let me see if I can get a little bit of green and brown mixed together, and green and red mixed together to come up with a brown shade right there underneath his chin. Mr. Capybara. And we got a little bit of this dark here. His nose. Oh yeah, okay. Let me get some reddish colors here. Just make them cute. Gotta make them cute. I definitely see a need for gouache. There's going to be a need to put lots of little areas on here. Oh, lots of little hairs. Whoops, it's a little too dark. Water it down. Yeah, spread some of this around now. Let it dry, and then I can paint the little white lines over it. I think that's probably my approach here. So this is definitely going to be a gouache thing. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to use the gouache. Alright, little by little, get this capybara in here. I'll read some trivia about capybaras, and I will ask AI to come up with a poem about capybaras. Some more things in the background here. Just some more undefined things. All right, let me let that dry. Let me do my my capybara thing. My Chat GPT. Ready? Okay, I'm just going to ask it to write a poem about a capybara. Write a poem about a capybara. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, here we go. Are you ready for the poem while this dries? This is written by AI. It's called Capybara Serenade. In the golden sun of a lazy day, by the water's edge where the reeds sway, lives a gentle creature, calm and free, the capybara in harmony. With a coat of brown so soft and sleek, a quiet friend both strong and meek, it wanders slow through fields of green, a peaceful sight, a tranquil scene. In the cool of dawn or twilight's glow, the capybara moves so slow, beside the river in silent grace, a gentle smile upon its face. It gathers in a quiet herd, their chatter soft like whispered word. In their world of peace they share the day, in simple joy they find their way. O capybara with heart so kind, in your world no rush we find. A lesson true you teach us here, to live in peace with love sincere. So let us sit by the river's flow and watch the capybara moving slow. In their quiet world we find our own, a place of peace where love is shown. Wow! Wow, that is really good. AI. I didn't expect it to be good. Wow. Were you as impressed as I was? Wow. I really didn't think it was going to be that good. But it is good. That's really kind of beautiful. What? Wow. I'm blown away. I'm a little bit in awe. Well, what do you know? That was pretty cool. The Capybara Serenade. I wonder, how does it do that? That is pretty cool. Well, I learned something new. You set it to music and it would be a song. Well, I must say I was surprised by that. Okay, let me finish putting some of these darker browns on here because he really has coarse hair. I think the capybara is native to Australia, I think. I have some facts here, but I haven't read them. Instead, I went to my AI thing. Well, I have to let this dry anyway. So, well, actually what I'm going to do before I let it dry, I'm going to paint the eye. Put the eye in there and maybe the nostril. Let's get some black paint. Looks like his eye is just black. It's got a very cool look to him. leave that little bit of reflection right there. There we go. And put that nostril over here. A little bit dark over here. Just some areas around his nose that look like they're darker than the other areas. I kind of like that poem. So, well, the tedious thing is going to be, I think, putting the little hairs on here for him. It won't be that tedious. Hey, everything is tedious, right? You're working in art, everything. You have to sort of, it goes with the territory. So the capybara, I'm gonna let this dry now, and I'll come back to it. The capybara is an herbivore. The average lifespan is 7 years. They grow to between 4.6 feet long. Oh, they grow to 4.6 feet long and 2 feet tall at the shoulders. They weigh between 77 and 143 pounds. They belong to the cavy family, C-A-V-Y. Their closest relatives are the guinea pigs. Well, they kind of look like guinea pigs. It says capybaras can always be found living near bodies of water due to their semi-aquatic lifestyle. Along the banks of the Amazon River. Wow. That's where they're from. But life by the water is still the perfect spot to set up camp. They have webbed feet to help them maneuver in the water, and their facial features are located towards the top of their large heads to help them see and breathe while they swim. And they can even sleep in water. Capybaras can dive and stay underwater for up to 5 minutes at a time, often falling asleep in the water while their noses are at the edge of the banks. Capybaras feel at home on land as much as they do water. They can run 35 kilometers an hour. They can run as fast as a horse, it says here. Wow. Capybaras are rather vocal animals. They like to express themselves by purring, barking, cackling, whistling, squealing, whining, grunting, and even teeth chattering. I showed you some of those sounds in the beginning of this video. Their teeth grow continuously. They have to eat a lot of plants to wear down the teeth. Often referred to as nature's ottoman, these friendly critters don't even seem to knock back a ride-sharing request from another animal. A whole host of bird species, monkeys, rabbits, and either other capybaras have been spotted riding on the backs of capybaras. Really? They prefer to live among large herds, between 10 and 20 capybaras, frequently seen mixing with other animals. So they're social. An adult capybara weighs as much as an adult human. with an average weight of 50 kilograms. Capybaras are herbivores. Yeah, we knew that. Well, there you go. Now we know a little bit about the capybara. Now we just got to make this one look a little bit better. I think he's starting to look good. I don't know. Just let that all dry and then I'll start adding the gouache to it. I probably don't even need to add gouache. Right now I'm looking at it. It kind of looks good just like it is, but I think the gouache will help add the texture to his fur, to his coat. His coat that other animals like to ride on. He's kind of cute. Alright. Let's let it dry. I'm going to turn off the camera, let it dry, and I'll come back with the gouache. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is use some burnt umber, because there's a lot of little dark areas as well as light areas. And just put it right there in that tray. And I'm going to use some white. Just a little bit, you know, just to spread it around. And probably going to use some of this. What is that, yellow ochre? Oh, yellow medium, yellow ochre. Kind of the same thing, I guess. Depends on what you mix it with, right? A little bit yellow ochre, yeah, yellow medium. And this looks like it's burnt sienna. Burnt sienna. Sounds like a girl's name, Sienna. Here we go. Okay. I'm just putting it into the little pan over here. And one more. I have some orange. It's probably not called orange. What is it called? What is it called? Vermilion. Vermilion. Hello, Mr. Capybara. He already looks done to me. But I just want to have a little more coarseness to his hair, to his coat. All right, we are ready to start. And I'm going to start with the area around his eye, because it looks like it's lighter than the rest of it. And I'm going to use that yellow color, and let's see if that works. No, it doesn't, so let me add some white to that. Just add some more right there. A little bit of lightness right there. So kind of a mixture of that white and that yellow. Here we go. There we go. There we go, Mr. Guy. We got it. Let's get some of these hairs up here. These little fine hairs that are sticking out. That's why I did the background first, you see. It's like how these little fine hairs sticking up. The Capybara Serenade. There we go. Again, like with all paintings, it's a study of light and dark. It's everything. Everything's a study of light and dark. Here we go. Little bits here and there. Actually, don't have to do the whole animal, just give the look of some of these flyaway hairs and down his back. We're going to use white, I think, mostly, the way I see it right now. Looks like white is going to be the... So you might be asking me, well, why are you doing one stroke at a time when you could use a fan brush? You could absolutely use a fan brush. I have a fan brush somewhere. The reason I'm not a fan of the fan brush, the fan brush works wonderfully for so many things. Large pictures. I think that's the problem, because this is such a small surface. So it might work. I probably should give it a shot, but I don't really know what I did with it. So I'm going to use that as an excuse. Okay. Let's get some of these little fine hairs here. Some fine hairs on here. It's kind of like grass, you know. You don't have to paint every single blade of grass. You just have to have enough of it so that people know what's going on. He's got a lot of little whiskers here too. Little tiny whiskers. Some of them are long. Just like with all rodents, almost all mammals, except, well, humans have it too. I got whiskers. What was I saying? What? I got whiskers, just like you, Mr. Rodent, Mr. Capybara. Get his little whiskers coming down, wrapping around. See, but he doesn't shave. He doesn't trim his beard. I think the edges mostly, and then I'll try to work on some of the things on the inside. Now, I could use a dry brush, that might help too. It's coming around. This takes a little time, that's all. It's a little tiny brush, so little tiny areas. Here we go. Now it's starting to look like coarse hair. And I'll probably use some of the darker tones too to accentuate some of this. Lots of little hairs. Keep him warm on a cold day. Some on the edge here. He's got backlit a little bit. I got birds outside. Do you hear them? They're waking up. The capybara. So it's funny when you look at anything, you look it up, they always have a scientific name. I always think that the first name was probably the common name, and the scientists later on categorized it. That's how it got the scientific name. I doubt that the scientific name was first. Right? You think so? Like, what name came first? Capybara. And where does that come from? That must mean something, right? Maybe it means large mouse or something. Large rodent. Large guinea pig. Guinea pig, even, where did that come from? Where did that word come from? It squeals like a pig. My brother used to have, when we were kids, he had a guinea pig named Fred. Oh my gosh, Fred would squeak in the middle of the night. It's funny. Later on, when my oldest brother got married, we became friends with the family of his wife, and her father's name was Fred. So it was kind of funny that we had a guinea pig named Fred. So we were much younger than our older brother. So he got married. We were still kids, and he got married. But his father-in-law was named Fred. I knew Fred, the man I'm talking about, not the guinea pig. I knew Fred way late in life. He ended up moving here to Florida, and he became kind of a friend of mine, even as with a big difference in age. He was a veteran, and so he would go to the veterans office in the same building where the radio station was, and sometimes he would miss his ride or not get a ride or something, or maybe he just liked come to visit me. But he would come down, when I say down, because we were on a lower floor, so he would come down and spend some time at the radio station. Just chat with the secretary and chat with the other people there, and wait for me. And then when I was done, I would drive him back to his place. At that time, he lived in like an assisted living facility. Yeah. So yeah, I became friends with my brother's father-in-law late in life. It's a fond memory for me too. He was a very smart guy. I got him to laugh. I used to like, that was my thing. I used to like to make people laugh. I still do. I don't know if I do it that much on this channel. It's kind of hard. I don't know, maybe I do. Probably laugh at some of the crazy stuff. But no, this is about painting. Alright, now I'm going to take some of this yellow and add it here to just kind of accentuate some of these little hairs that are not quite getting the white light, but they're getting a little bit of golden light. And I think I'll do that down here too. Put some of this golden color here under his eye and around his ear. Right now what I want to do is I want to take some of that the darker color. Yeah. And just add a little bit of this. I think it's accomplishing the objective, which is to get it to look like his hair is coarse. What do you think? Okay, I think we got him done. I think it's good enough. What do you think, Mr. Capybara? Did I capture your likeness? Huh? Well, now I gotta smear the back. Smear it like cream cheese on a bagel. Let's just push that paint all over the place. Just make a mess and let it dry, and then it'll look artsy. And everybody will say, look how artistic that is. Alright, well, Capybara, we had a good time with you. We'll see you next time. I'm going to let it dry and I'll be right back. Okay, it's dry, but as I look at it, I'm thinking I need to add a little bit more of the white areas. So I'm just gonna kind of touch it up a little bit, make it a little bit brighter on the top of his coat. Just kind of water it down. Water it down a little bit. There. Just a little bit less defined. I think that's what I wanted to do. Get the wet brush, just kind of smear it around a little bit. A little bit of water on there. Okay, that's good. All right, Mr. Capybara, let's fold this card and make it a card. And now we have a card for somebody who loves wildlife. I think so. Somebody who loves capybaras, especially. Gotta admit, he's a cute one. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.